Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic as ever to have you here. Cavalry Sabre, part 14. We are back, cracking on with it after our little pause there. Now, in the last episode at the end, Will finally poured the brass pommel, and so my plan for the day is to crack on with finishing up that pommel. Hopefully it is good enough for us to use on the final piece. Before we jump into that, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is longtime sponsor Nord Vpn. Nord Vpn, it's a virtual private network service that keeps you safe while you're browsing the internet. It is a fantastic tool, and they're giving you 75% off a 3-year plan when you go to nordvpn.com/forge, and using coupon code FORGE gets you an extra month for free. It's a great deal, helps keep you safe while you're browsing the internet, which is so important today. Thank you, Nord, for sponsoring the video. Thank you guys for checking them out. At the end of the video, let's jump right in to this pommel. So that is the pommel, almost ready on this. This might be in the next episode that we get to doing the investment and the burnout here on the wax. We're focusing on the pommel, as I said. Now, there was one problem in the casting, which was right at the tip of my finger there. You see, we have some inclusions. Don't know what that is. Probably some sort of dirt or debris. Of course, that is not ideal to have that in there, but I think I got a solution. My plan is to move all this material back this way by cutting it away so we can get past where that inclusion is. I think the fastest way to remove this material is going to be with a small wheel attachment on the belt grinder, but since this is brass, it's going to be getting hot really fast. So I'm putting some gloves on since I'm going to be in and out of the water, cooling this off, and that water will soften up your hands and give you all sorts of problems when it dries out. So that's why I'm a fan of these. They don't tend to have too much of a risk of entrapment because they're going to break, hopefully before they pull your finger into something. And so with that, I'm going to suit up and we're going to start grinding. Okay, I've done a good deal of grinding on this. I got that inclusion ground out. It's looking good. I have also ground around the perimeter of the pommel, and it is looking fantastic. I think it's now time to switch to files, specifically for this back area of the pommel. I need to get into that right-hand side there and carve that contour all the way around. I also need to make sure that I make a little bit of room for finishing out this fluting, so that's going to be a lot of fine detail work. But I'm going to start with this right here. Okay, I focus most of my attention here on the end of the pommel, filing it, getting it down to size, and then using my micro motor and some little rubberized abrasives to polish it up. Now what I want to do now, just so I can make sure that I know where I am in terms of finishes, is I'm going to go to the buffing wheel, put some compound on it, and we're going to polish it to get out any of the final scratches before we move back down to this side of the pommel, this front side of the pommel, and begin working and finishing it. Here we go. More buffing compound just in case. Oh my goodness, that is shiny. What? Hey YouTube, can you see yourself? I'm kind of a little scared. This is so shiny. I don't know why I'm scared. This is great. This is amazing. This is like a mirror polished mirror. You see this here? This is as cast and then buffed. These little flutes here, I haven't touched them with a file. I haven't touched them with any polishing materials. Just buffing them made them look like that. This is utterly mind-blowing. Oh my buffness. This is just crazy. I can't believe how shiny it is. Okay, anyway, concentrate. Back to work. Stop focusing on shiny things. You got a job to do, Alec. Let's go. Whew. It's just so shiny. I need to work on this side here. I need to gently soften the edges here where we ground it a little earlier this morning. And we also need to work on finishing this far side of the brass. And then we've got to work on the fluting. Right, that last clip of me buffing didn't go so well. It buffed beautifully, nice and polished, but not once but twice I dropped it right onto the concrete. I dropped it onto the concrete and dented it. You can see right on the end there, that little dent, not good. And right in there, that dent, not good. This is also why buffers are one of the most dangerous tools in the workshop, because they like to grab things and throw them on the ground. Still my fault. I shouldn't be blaming it on the machine, yeah, be careful with buffers and don't drop your parts when you're buffing them. Okay, let's see if this works. Nope. Nope. To the grinding room. I need to be careful because at the rate I'm going, I'm going to be running out of brass on this pommel here rather soon. Now, one thing is these edges are very sharp and they need to be rounded. So I'm going to go again to files and then to some rubberized abrasives and then to the buffer to create just the slightest radius the whole way around. This is going to mean that when we fit the pommel to the actual handle, we're going to have what's called an heirloom fit, which is where you have two radiuses meeting, and that allows for a little bit of variation. It gives you more leeway and clearance with your actual fit up, so it'll still look good without the necessity for exactly perfect lineups. Let's just hope I don't drop it again. Oh, it's looking so shiny. So I got that radius filed in. It's polished, it's looking fantastic. Got the dents all sorted, all great and brilliant. Two more things. One of them is talk about this. At the very end, right where we're going to be drilling through to accept the tang, thank goodness, there's some porosity in the brass. Little bubbles of something that got caught in there in the casting. Thank goodness it's just at the end of the pommel, where we're going to be drilling a hole anyway and riveting the steel on, because that means that, well, it's actually going to be okay. I also have room to file it down a little bit. I'm not worried about it. This is not going to affect the look of the piece, which is good. Number 2 on the agenda is I need to clean up these little flutes here. I'm going to give them a light cleanup with some files, give it another buff up. I cannot believe how shiny this is. This is now ready for a hole, and what a great day this has been working on this pommel. I've never made anything this shiny in my life. I had no idea it was even possible to make things this shiny, but apparently I was able to. We've got the fluting looking gorgeous. It just cleaned up so fantastically with files and rubberized abrasives. It polished gloriously on the mops, and I am beyond ecstatic. Thank you guys for watching this video. I want to thank today's sponsor, Nord Vpn. While it is that we do some engraving practice before we jump in that, of course, make sure that you remember to click the link in the description, because when you sign up for a 3-year plan with Nord Vpn, you're going to get 75% off going to nordvpn.com/forge, as well as a free month when you use code FORGE at checkout. Anyway, this is how a VPN works and why you should sign up. So the best way to explain what a VPN is to start by explaining how it usually works when you browse the internet. Here is the World Wide Web. Now this has served as some great engraving practice. Usually when you're browsing, you ask the World Wide Web to send you some information, and the World Wide Web sends you some information. But the danger with this is here you are, nice and important. What you don't want to have happened is you don't want your data compromised. But this stream of data is very prone to being compromised. Don't tell me. No. What if? Oh goodness, no. What if a greedy garnet hacker finds its way in and compromises your data? Oh, it fell out. There we go. I think you're getting the point. Oh no, look at that. It found its way in. You've been hacked. So this is where NordVPN comes in. They access the website on your behalf from any of their over 1,000 servers in 61 countries. They encrypt that data for you so that that little greedy garnet can't get in and hack you and compromise that data, sending it to you where their handy-dandy app for iOS and Android, Mac and PC unencrypts it for you, allowing you to browse safely. So make sure you go to nordvpn.com/forge and check them out for 75% off a 3-year plan. Remember, code FORGE gets you a free month too. It's risk-free. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. They're a great sponsor of the show. I'm very grateful for their support. Very grateful for you guys supporting them. And I'm so thrilled for the opportunity to practice some engraving and some lettering and some stone setting and some pave. Got to do all of that while thanking Nord. What a blast. Thank you guys for watching. Pleasure as always. I'm going to see you on the next episode very soon. Bye-bye.